What's up, everybody? One of the rules to the game that almost everyone can quote is don't get high off your own supply. Almost everybody knows that quote, whether you've been in the game or not. Almost everybody's heard that quote one point or another. But in reality, this is very rarely the case. Maybe for people who are serious drug dealers, who are seriously in the game like Meech and Terry and really trying to make their life out of it. But most drug dealers that you see, most common drug dealers, the users get their drugs from. Not always, but a lot of the times are people simply who are just supporting their own habit. Whether it's someone who buys an ounce of weed and breaks out a couple quarters to get their money back so they can smoke for free, or it's the crack user who buys a quarter ounce of crack on the weekends and goes to party with his friends, and he's the one who gets all his friends to pitch in money to use the crack so he don't have to spend all his money, so he can go home and buy his own later on after the party's over with and smoke his own crack after using all his friends' money. So that's a lot of the times the way the drugs are actually sold to the users, going from user to another user. So that's a rule to the game. If you want to be successful in the game, it's a rule you have to follow. One of the many reasons why a lot of people choose to sell hard drugs instead of weed, because a lot of the hustlers actually smoke weed. Just one of the reasons. Another being size. It's a lot easier to move a lot of weight with something like cocaine rather than weed. Another reason is the dope fiends come back for the crack or the cocaine 10 times faster than the weed users. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. But when it comes to somebody like Lamar, who is a gangster, when he gets on drugs, what does he do? He doesn't go and spend his money to support his own habit and then try to sell drugs to support his habit. He doesn't do that. What a gangster like Lamar gonna do to support his habit, he gonna find other dealers to rob and to jack. That's what you call a jack boy. And then he gonna go get high off the supply he just jacked, and he gonna try to sell it and push it to make as much money as he can. Then he gonna go on jack off his money or whatever and go rob again. That's what the pattern of a jack boy is. So now we done seen Monique turn Lamar all the way up, getting him now back on to the coke, the yayo, back in his partying ways, because that's how they got together. We done heard Meech tell Terry how they hooked up in the first place when they were in a relationship back in the day before she met Meech. And that was because they used to get down on the coke when they used to party together. So now we see Lamar going to Monique's house, putting the ashes of his dog Blackie up there, and Monique pulls out a bag of the powder and starts getting down with Lamar, I guess with the intention to kill him afterwards. But it doesn't go as planned. She gets down with Lamar on the coke and they start reminiscing. I honestly don't know what happened after that, because she pulled the gun out like she was going to go shoot him in the bathroom, and he's supposed to be taking a bath. I don't know what, they didn't really show what actually went down between the two, but she ended up hooking up with him in some type of way or another, because she put herself in that predicament. I guess she had planned to kill the man when he went in there, but she didn't want to go through with it, so it looked like she had to end up going up to follow through with her plan. She ended up having to hook up with him. So as a result to this, it looks like Lamar is now back using the powder again, and that's going to turn him up a whole nother level, because we done seen one of Meech and Terry's drivers got jacked for their car. So somehow Lamar knew who was moving the weight for Terry and Meech, and he done jacked the lady. And it definitely looked like both him and his cousin Alvin, like they were on that stuff when they jacked the woman. They both looked like they were on it. So it done look like he done turned his cousin Alvin onto the stuff too. They were all sweating and everything. That's why just the way they were behaving, in fact they were all sweating and everything, is what makes me think they were on it. But yeah, so it looks like they're both on it now, and that's gonna turn them up. And they done robbed Meech's driver. And we also see Meech at the skating rink with Monique talking, and she said she's gonna stick to the plan, but we don't really know if she's gonna end up being able to follow through. And I hope she doesn't end up turning on Meech in the end. We done talked about the Judas last episode, who we done seen in B Mickey so far, playing both sides with Meech and Bryant. So now it looks like the Judas went from being Kato to B Mickey. Now we done seen it look like Monique's gonna be the new Judas of the show, playing both sides with both Lamar and Meech, because she's supposed to be setting Lamar up some type of way. But I know getting him on some coke and getting him back using that stuff is definitely not something she discussed with Meech. So that's something she planned to do on her own, I guess, thinking she would just shoot Lamar and set him up that type of way. But that was dangerous also. I was thinking, oh my god, she really gonna try to shoot Lamar? What if this gun jams, or if he's on to her any type of way? It would be trouble for her. She couldn't go through with it, and now she's stuck playing both sides between Lamar and Meech, and it could be a very dangerous game for Monique in the end. There's only 2 more episodes left in this season of BMF. So who do you think Lamar's gonna make it out of this season alive? Do you think Monique is gonna make it out? Because one of them probably might go by the end of this season. Lamar catches on to what she's doing. He's gonna cut her water off, but we could see Monique pull through for Meech and take out Lamar. Leave your thoughts in the comments.